This is cassava that I just covered with water and add some salt and left it to boil. I have some aromatics like mustard seeds and methi together with some tomato and pimentos here, and I'm gonna stew some fish. My fish is seasoned with salt, black pepper, a little ketchup and a little mustard here. I didn't have green seasoning, so I just added the green seasoning on top. This weekend was so frustrating with all that rain and having the threat of being flooded out. So I didn't do my normal weekend preps with green seasoning. So I just cut up some shadow benny and big thyme here and one chili pepper and just put it on the top of the fish. After a few minutes, I'm gonna try to turn each piece, and that's the tail, playing the tail there, not trying to turn easily. And you wanna turn it so that it doesn't mash up the fish too much. So you have to be gentle and try and scoop it up and flip it over quickly. So I managed to turn over all, including the tail that was playing the tail. And I'm going to leave the heat on medium and cover it and leave it to cook for a few minutes again before I add the water. So I think I added a little too much water in the pot here. So I covered back the lid and leave it to come to a boil. So then after that I removed the lid and allowed the water to cook down. So the cassava was peeled and I had them in the freezer, so that's why the pieces are so chunky and I couldn't cut it up frozen. So I put it in the boiling water and I'm going to use the spoon to keep mashing it down. This is me just turning the spaces in the pot with the fish to get all the seasoning, tomatoes and everything mixed in that sauce. So the fish already cooked a few minutes on each side, so I'm not going to turn it again. It's covered with water there, so it will finish cooking and boiling up with that water and thicken the sauce. So the water levels were rising so fast this weekend that we packed up everything and prepared for flood. Thankfully, we did not get flood, but I'm so sorry for those who did. And to the cassava, because I didn't have seasoning, I'm going to use dry herbs because I always have that as a backup. And a big piece of butter. I did not strain the cassava. I learned this from my parents. They just leave it when it's almost done boiled. They add in all the seasoning in that same starchy water that the cassava boiled up in. So I add in some green dry herbs like cilantro, parsley, salt, black pepper, and this is the end result. It was so yummy. That cassava melted so nice. It was so buttery and nice with that fish. And if you have to be on the roads, just be safe.